I'm in this little box right here. You can see me. Welcome. It's nice to see you all and welcome you to our kickoff event for our RTAC support to the Central Coast region of the California Community School Partnership Program. We're so excited to have you at this kickoff and so excited to launch a new year of support and learning and transformation and collaboration and all the Asians that are out there. But welcome. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to give it another minute or so to allow more people to jump in and we'll get started. But thank you so much for being on time. And yeah, we'll get started in a few minutes here. Cue the music, Jennifer. Cue the music. If we don't have music, that's okay. A little humor on a Thursday afternoon never hurt anyone, right? Wonderful. Yes, thank you, Jennifer, for posting that reminder. If you would be so awesome to help us sign into the meeting. Dr. Sahadi just put in the link in the chat. So if you would take a second or so to jump into that document, put your name down to document that you're here and that you're ready to go. We really appreciate you. So welcome once again. And yeah, we'll give it another minute or so before we get started. I see a couple more people are still jumping in. And welcome. If you are just joining us, welcome. Thank you for being here. We are taking a moment right now to get into the Google document that we put in the chat and ask everyone to please sign in. Make sure that you put in your information. And yeah, we'll get started here in just a minute.
Thank you.
Wow. All right. Wonderful. Okay. Well, I know more of our teammates will continue to join the meeting, but thank you and welcome once again. My name is Ernesto Vela, and I have the great honor of being part of Regional Technical Assistance team here for the Central Coast region. I'm an Assistant Superintendent of Student Services here for the Monterey County Office of Education. I'm in my 6th year in that role, and since we've become a Regional Technical Assistance Center and involved with the community school work, I'm so excited, really so excited, not only for the fabulous team that we have here at the county office, but really for all of the opportunities we have collectively as a state to continue to move our education forward. And what better way than to recognize the needs and the potential services we can offer all of our students across the state. As many of you know, and some of you may be part of this cohort 3 implementation grantees, congratulations to you. We know it's not an easy process to go through the application process, but welcome to the community school family. And even for our colleagues that and schools perhaps that are not quite yet at the receivership of a grant, we're still on board with them. And you'll get to know from us that if you're exploring, or if you know or you have other schools in your districts that are exploring the grant, we're equally here for them as for you. And so today we have a phenomenal day.
But I can't figure this out.
Thank you. Thank you. Today we have a phenomenal agenda planned for you. And the main objective, as it states here in the title, is to meet and greet. Because throughout this school year, we have quite an agenda of capacity building sessions, community practice sessions that we're going to be involved with. But we know, and as we're learning through the community school model, that building relationships is perhaps the heart and soul of what we're trying to accomplish, and getting to know one another is so important. And some of my colleagues here locally are probably tired of me saying it, but I love saying it, that whether it's your first day on the job or you're a vet like I am, we all have something to share, all something to learn, and all something to contribute. And I also like to say that the RTAC team, we're not experts. We are learners right alongside you. That means that we are eager to research, to understand, to become familiar, because each one of you and your schools and your districts are on your own journey. While we have many things in common, our RTAC also recognizes the uniqueness of every location that we serve. And so know that you have a great team here to support you, and the bigger family that's all of us on the screen, that hopefully you feel comfortable with anyone on the screen to be a phone call away, so that you can also learn from one another. And so with that, I don't see her quite on just yet. Oh, yes.
I'm here.
Thank you, Dr. Gus. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vela,
Yes.
for giving me just a quick opportunity to welcome everyone here today and to say thank you to all of you for the great work that you do each and every day in your schools and in your county. Literally, the work that you do is saving lives, it's changing lives, and the commitment to this community schools work, it's just huge. It is such a game changer. So for so many of our students and our families. And so I asked Dr. Vela if I could be here for just a few minutes to say thank you to each and every one of you for taking the time to be here in this session today, and for the great work that you do each and every day. I also would be remiss if I didn't take a moment to do a huge shout out for the Monterey County Office of Education's RTAC team and all of the other community school leaders in your districts throughout your counties. So kudos to all of you for the great work you're doing. And I hope that the start to this school year was the best ever, because friends, this year really defines our new normal. Like, we are done. I know we still have COVID coming through our schools and that kind of thing, but we are done with those crazy, days of these last few school years. And we are hopeful that this school year is truly going to be our new normal, positive, one filled with joy and hope, and just a great year for all of those students that we serve. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to you, Dr. Vela, and my friends, keep up the great work.
Thank you, Dr. Gus. Thank you so much. A huge round of applause to you and to all of us. Team, we could not be prouder of the great support that our county superintendent, Dr. Deneen Gus, gives us. It is our shared vision, spearheaded by her vision of our county office. And at a later point, and hopefully at a break when we see each other in person, I can tell you the story of how it went down for our county office to apply for the regional technical assistance. But I really have to thank and appreciate Dr. Gus for her leadership, her ongoing and unwavering support of us. And thanks to her, we have the flexibility, opportunity to be thought partners with you, to be innovative, to be risk takers, to go forward for the best of our kids. And so, Dr. Gus, thank you so much for joining us today and for everything you've done to support our work. So we really appreciate that. In a couple of slides, we'll also introduce the rest of the team, but I do want now to thank also another wonderful, wonderful member of our team that's here on hand with us, and that is Dr. Ralph Porras. Dr. Porras is our deputy superintendent, and my support in this work. And so, Dr. Porras, welcome. Good to see you. I would love for you to say a few words of welcome, Dr. Porras.
Buenas tardes a todos. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm honored to be here. Thank you, Dr. Vela. And I'm only going to take just a couple seconds to say welcome to everyone on this journey. I cannot speak as eloquently as Dr. Gus does in her enthusiastic welcome, but I want you all to know that you are welcome. And we're looking forward to having the work with you. The RTAC team has just done superb work so far, and I know that it will continue that way. Just a pleasure to be working with you all. And Dr. Vela, thank you for the work that you do in coordinating these efforts. I think that I just can't wait to see the journey in front of us. So welcome everyone. And on behalf of the county office, as Dr. Deneen Gus said, a welcome, and we look forward to the work.
Thank you, Dr. Porras. Thank you. And just my final comment on these introductory comments is to say that without our partners, and you'll meet a few of them today. And as I look at the screen at our partners, that we could not do this work without you. And so in today's presentation, you're going to get to know some of our partners and the valuable insight expertise that they bring to the table. What I appreciate most about our partners is that they let us be in the driver's seat of our own journey. And that is so critical, because when we self-discover and take ownership for our own pathways, that's the most valuable way that we can approach this work. And so I do want to take a minute to thank our partners for being alongside us. And they are not only partners to the RTAC, they are a resource for all of you. And so as you hear them being introduced throughout today, do not hesitate to take their name and number, to take down their information, because they are certainly willing to go through this journey with all of us and be an asset and a resource to all of you. So thank you. That's all for the introductions right now. I think we're going to move on to you having an opportunity. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Sahadi. Jennifer?
Hello, welcome. So we want to give you all an opportunity to also network with each other. So I'm going to, in a little bit of time, I'm going to put you in the breakout rooms. You will have 10 minutes to share your name, the county and the school you're from, the grant type and the cohort that you are in, a number of years in your current position, one word that sums up your summer this year. And I also will put it in a chat right now, just in case you forget. So the questions are there. So just in a minute, I'll put you in a group. So
Jennifer, yes. I have a question. How do we know what cohort we are? We don't know. The liaisons from Hollister.
It's cohort 2.
2? Okay, we did one. Thank you.
You're welcome. So the rooms are open, so you can go ahead and go into the rooms. So now what we are going to ask you to do is just in the chat, type in either one word or an emoji that sums up your summer this year. Post it and wait. And once I say go, you will all hit enter so we can have a waterfall effect. So go ahead, type in one word that sums up your summer, or use an emoji, whichever you prefer. And then go ahead, submit it. Awesome. Thank you. Keep them coming. All right, Jinwei.
So moving on, the objectives for today's meeting is, of course, as Dr. Bella just kind of piggying back on what he said, is to build a sense of community about within this group, and to create a collaborating space for all of us to continue learning and sharing ideas and celebrating our successes. Number 2, it'll be to review with you some of the CCSPP systems of support and our role as the RTAC. Number 3 will be to go over the RTAC calendar to kind of let you know what events are coming up, and so that you have kind of like an idea what is going to happen through the rest of the school year. Number 4 will be to highlight some of the opportunities that we have to collaborate with us as an RTAC, but also with each other, because we can help you also to make those connections among yourselves. And of course, because I know you always want to know like what is the latest information that we have, so we'll be providing some updates. Herminia.
Yes, so I know we already heard from our county superintendent. We've heard a little bit from Dr. Vela, and I wanted to see if Dr. Ralph Porras, our deputy superintendent, was available to maybe give us a few words. Dr. Porras, if you're there.
Herminia, he did give a brief
Oh,
welcome, and then he had to
yes.
jump on a call.
Okay.
He's going to be with us throughout. So
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so anyway, this is our senior leadership team here at MCOE. We're really lucky to work with everyone on the team, and they also bring us support in bringing the coordinators and the district staff and everyone else support. So we're always excited to introduce them. Next slide.
Okay, so about a little bit about our RTAC team. So some of you have met us before, and others, this might be your first introduction to us. But the RTAC consists of 4 team members, and we do oversee as a lead for each county. Herminia Cervantes is the lead for Monterey County. Dr. Jennifer Sarhadi is the lead in San Benito, San Luis Obispo, and Ventura County. Myself, June Rezarok, is the lead for Santa Barbara County. And our newest member, Anabel Garcia, is the lead for Santa Cruz County. And above our photos is the mission of the RTAC team. So as Dr. Vela emphasized in the beginning of the meeting, we're here to support grantees with the implementation of their CCSPP grant. We're very committed, and we would like to empower each of our grantees to collaborate with us in a goal-focused way. So we're very much looking forward to providing you that support as an RTAC team.
perfect. And so we also want to share with you that there are a number of layers to the support, and I'm really pleased, and I'm really impressed in the way that California has laid out these multiple layers of support. And so what this slide reflects are in fact those layers. So CDE here at the far left, they administer the grant. They of course are the grantors. They're the ones that we are submitting reports to, the ones that identified us as grantees. And so the CDE, California Department of Education, is the general oversight of all of these funds as directed to them by the State Board of Education, as directed to them by the California legislature. And so CDE is a partner. They're there to learn alongside us. In many meetings and gatherings, you will see team members of CDE. And so I want to take a moment and a pause to see if any of our CDE partners are on the call. If you would kindly identify yourself. If you're here, wonderful. If you're not, you're definitely going to see, I'm not seeing anyone. But definitely CDE is not distant. They are alongside with us in every step of the way. Then CDE identified a state transformational assistance center, and that is Alameda County Office of Education. They identified the Alameda County Office of Education as the statewide support of the Regional Technical Assistance Center. The same way that CDE is highly involved and present, so is the STAC. You'll hear us refer to the STAC quite often because they're thought partners right alongside with us. Their role is to develop statewide and bigger picture type of tools, templates, frameworks. They're the ones that are kind of driving the bigger ship throughout the state. And of course, they do that in close collaboration with us. You will find opportunities to be part of committees and other opportunities to be part of the feedback that we give the STAC in terms of the tools and resources that they develop for the entire state. They meet with us, RTACs, on a monthly basis to see how we're doing, to see what support we have. And often when you have questions for us, if we don't know the answer, we will then turn to the STAC and see if they experienced anything like what you're asking, or if not, we have direct access to the CDE as well. As you establish these contacts with the STAC, it's absolutely okay for you to send a question directly to them. However, we ask that you please include us or give us an opportunity, because any knowledge or any answer that comes out, if we know it and we record it and we archive it, the next time a question circulates around, we would then have, that knowledge. And so we invite you to establish relationships with these two entities. Then that next layer are the RTACs. There are 8 RTACs throughout California. We're the Central Coast RTAC that represents the 6 counties, ranging from Ventura, San Luis Obispo, Santa Barbara, Monterey, San Benito, and Santa Cruz. Did I miss one? No, I think I got them all. So our Central Coast region, but then north of us, for example, is like the Bay Area. And then north of that is the capital city. So we're spread out geographically. And one thing that I'm really proud of, and it's getting better, that we are collaborating among RTACs as well, because as they are learning, we are learning. And so there's a close collaboration with our RTACs. And so I also want to pause just in case there are any teammates, colleagues from another RTAC that are joining us on the call. Anybody? Okay, and in the future they might, because these opportunities, we open them up to each other. And so it shouldn't surprise us that teammates from another RTAC would join us, either just to learn, to contribute. That's completely okay. Then from that, some of you are in this next level of support, which is the county offices of education. Our goal as an RTAC is to support the county offices and strengthen their capacity so that they could be the direct support to the districts and the schools. Working in a COE, I know how valuable the relationship is between our local school districts. Like here in Monterey, we have 24 public school districts. And so the county office is seen as a partner, is seen as a support. And so we also want to establish and strengthen that capacity of the COEs where there are already multiple resources, as you know. And if you are a COE colleague, thank you. You're a wonderful asset to our schools and our districts. We appreciate you. But in the ideal world, the RTACs then support the county offices that understand the more localized dynamic and are able to then render support. And we have established that great connection with Ventura, with Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo, San Benito, Santa Cruz, and then with our own county office. So that's another layer of support. And then finally, our implementers, right? Our implementers, the district level and the school level, leadership and staff and support staff. This is really where the magic is happening, and we understand that. And so one of the understandings that we bring to our work is knowing that for us, the community school work is our entire world. But many of you on this call, I bet, wear 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different hats. And so our understanding of that is to, number one, recognize that you play multiple roles. Number two, try to help you in connecting all those roles in the best way that we can. And understand, again, in terms of bandwidth, in terms of flexibility and support, we understand what it's like to be at a district and a site level and to support at a school and a site level. And so we take that into account when we offer services, trying to be as flexible as possible, trying to meet your schedule in a way. And so when we roll out our support plan to all of you, you're going to see that there are multiple opportunities, depending on that flexibility that you have, to connect with us. At the very end, you will have our phone numbers, you will have our emails. We're a text away, a phone call away, an email away if you need any support. And so these are the different layers of support. I can tell you there's no one expert in any of these layers. CDE certainly has the handle on the best research that's going on, but they depend so much on our day-to-day learning to filter it up, if you will, so they also know what's going on with us. So we offer this to you, and again, you'll find support at all steps of the way. Oh, and I recognize I have this slide too. Thank you. It's really important. One of the first things that I learned when we got involved with the CCSPP is that it's not a strategy. I remember on several occasions being corrected by our other partners that Ernesto, it's not a strategy that's gonna come and go. This is truly an effort to transform our schools or continue to transform our schools throughout the state. And what that means is that we are considering all components that come into our school sites. I'm really proud, being 27 years total, coming from a teacher, from a school principal, that I'm really proud that in public education, we're now recognizing that our goal and our objective as educators go way beyond the academic progress of our students. We are also responsible for helping our young people, our youth of the future, to be responsible citizens of our world. And so what I'm so proud of is that there are now the resources statewide and available to all of us to truly break down the barriers that stand in the way between our students and their success. And if you're looking for an elevator speech to describe what your work is and what the work of the CCSBP is, that's been mine, where I say this work is about breaking down any barrier that stands in the way between our students and their success. Understanding Maslow's hierarchy, that in order for our students to self-actualize, right, become learners, that their basic needs, their self-esteem needs to be strengthened in order for them to access learning. And what the work of the community school is in fact that, is identifying the needs that stand, or the obstacles that stand in the way, identify resources that can help that student, that family overcome those obstacles so that they can be fully engaged learners. It also is a transformation in our school, in our classrooms. And what that is now a philosophy of teaching very much along the way that we've seen in the last decade or so, where we want to engage learners in their own learning. We want to build strength and ownership in the students' own learning. I'll put in a quick plug for the UCLA Community School in Los Angeles. They have discovered the way to empower their students to make them part of their own learning. And on that note, just to tell you, there are so many models across the state that are strengthened in each component of the community school. And it's our job to bring forward those exemplary models so that we learn from them. And so my point here with this slide is that we're transformative in nature. That's our goal. And we're really proud that you stand on the side of this kind of philosophy, because this is the right time to do this in our public school system in California. And you will hear throughout that we're all bought in. We're all bought in. I'm sold on this framework because I know it works, right? And it's going to look different for all of us, but the essential components of this work, and there's examples to prove that. So you can find more information, definitely read more about the community school framework. We have a link there in the presentation. But certainly, if you need any support from us selling, right, pitching this idea, whether it's to your school boards, whether it's to your district leadership team, we'd love to be a partner with you, not to take the whole ownership of it, but empower you to really send this message forward. Okay, now I'm going to transfer it over to Annabelle.
Yes, and just to kind of emphasize what Dr. Bella was saying about transformation, this is just a visual of the community schools framework and kind of representing what the transformation should look like. So you are all the drivers kind of leading this work. And just one thing to remember is the reason why we do this is for the students. You know, we want all students to be able to thrive in an environment where their needs get met so that they can have success, and also later on carry that over into the community where you are at. And the HUBO, it's all of you who are present here with your partners and the parents and also the students, right? Because you guys are the moving force that is kind of leading the transformation for your schools. The conditions into which you want to do this, you know, is kind of like the teal circle around it. And I think one of the ones that I want to emphasize the most is from the beginning, trying to build trust in relationships within your teams, with the parents, with the students, because if you have a strong trusting relationship with all those who are involved, then you will be able to move in much easily into the next kind of light blue circle, which is the practices that you want to promote, where you want everybody to collaborate, to everybody have a voice, so that through that you have good outcomes as you move along through your transformation. And of course, you have to have like the dark blue kind of circle, that supported infrastructure that you want to continue maintaining through the years and for years to come, even after this grants go away. Why? So always thinking also about sustainability. Even if you're on year 1 or on month 1, okay, I don't want this to go away in 5 years. I want it to go all the way to 20 years. How would that look like? How can we support that? So making sure that we keep that infrastructure and that we keep that in mind. And of course, remember that you're not starting from scratch, because each of the schools have already something in place. So identify what you already have in place, and then you can also see the needs and then move forward, and it all comes together. Herminia.
A little bit about our demographics in terms of grantees. So we have a total of 123 grantees. Someone please check my math. Math was not always my strongest subject. 90.2% of those are implementation grantees, meaning that these are schools or districts that have received an implementation grant, and they could either be starting their first year, their second year, or their third year. We also have about 9.8%, meaning 12 districts of districts that are still in the planning phase. So we just wanted to share that. And if you are in a planning district, now you know that there's 112 people who you can ask questions to. And that could be anything from what did you write in your application to I don't know what to do with this. So there's already 111 experts. And hopefully next year when we do this again in August, we'll have more districts in the implementation grant. So this is just a little bit about our demographics.
Thank you, Herminia. This is just another breakdown of grant type and cohort by county. And I think the surprise from the previous slide to me was that previous year we were flip-flop. We were mainly planning grantees and a little handful of implementation grantees, but now it's reversed. And we're hoping that number continues to grow with cohort 4. So this is just another breakdown of grantees by type.
All right, we have another breakout rooms, and this would be a little bit different. It's based on your titles or your position. So the breakout rooms we will have one for coordinators. So either a district level, at the county level, at the site level, it doesn't matter, for community school coordinators. Then we have another one for principals, another one for mental health coordinators, another one for COE administrators. And then the next one is LEA administrators. And then we have family engagement. And then the lastly is others. So the question is for this breakout, share a bright spot, a need, or asset you have identified in your community school work so far. So that is the question, and I will open up the rooms right now, and you can go ahead and choose the room that you would like to attend. If you have any questions, if you need help us getting into the room, please let me know. I'll move you into the room as well.
Need for our community. A need for our community is just the language, the communication and language barrier. And I recognize that more so during our back to school night last night, where we got a lot of feedback from both teachers and parents seeking out just the need for communication, better communication between our school and them. And again, just the language barrier, especially with the large population of Spanish speakers here. The asset that we have here is that Castroville or North Monterey County Unified is just a small district and a small community, and so everyone's really willing to find solutions and support each other. Just no matter what school you're at, no matter what neighborhood you live at, that we're always willing to support each other and willing to brainstorm and find a common ground and find a solution to meet that need.
Wow, thank you so much. I know that your group was huge. We had 17 to 20 people in there, so thank you for sharing. Perfect, Cynthia.
Our group had a wonderful discussion. I thought it was beautiful that everybody was sharing their gains or their, what did you call them, their bright spots, and also areas where there was need. I think that everybody touched on really cashing in on the capital of what parents bring to the table, our promotoras, and ensuring that they're also part of that network of support. And a few folks were also sharing their leading practices on their campuses in terms of hiring and what that combination of organizational structure looks for each school, so other school districts could actually see what pieces of that could fit in their structure. So I thought it was a wonderful conversation. Thank you to everybody that contributed.
Wonderful. All right.
Okay, and moving on, just kind of sharing a little bit more about what our role is as an RTAC, and this is just a few things of the many things that we can support you with, but we're here to support you in the creation of comprehensive school and community asset mapping and the needs assessment. We can also support you in establishing, collaborative leadership and shared decision-making practices. We can share with you some of those strategies that we have learned from other grantees. We can also help you develop programming and strengthening relationships to promote positive and supportive and racially justice school climates within your schools and your district. Also support with the development of sustainable funding sources, which is very important for the years to come as you continue to work. And then lastly, provide access to, resources and opportunities. Also help you collaborate, but also collaborate and clarify the RFA questions and budget questions. We don't know everything, but if we don't know, we know where to ask. And also, coming up, it will be the cohort 4 application process. So we can also help if you're interested or know of somebody that is interested in applying. So basically we are those eyes that we can see from the outside in, because I do know, and I think you can probably agree with me, that when you're in the hustle and bustle about every day doing it within your community and your schools, sometimes you don't have that time to kind of look from the outside in. So think of us as those eyes that will help you to look from the outside in and support you in that way. Thank you.
So these are some of the ways that we want to bring an opportunity for us to collaborate either at the site level, at the district level, at the COE level. One of the things that we find really helpful for us is to kind of do some kind of a quarterly visit or a site visit. This is not going to be us with a clipboard and being like, oh, this is what you said you were going to do and you didn't do that. It's more of an opportunity to really get to know your site and your school, and really come from a place of us really being a thought partner for you. So definitely that would give us the opportunity to really know what are some of the things that you're doing really well. What are some of the things that maybe we can share with other grantees that may have a similar struggle, and maybe you did a really great assessment, or you have a really great advisory council or a beautiful wellness center, whatever that is. And then it also gives us an an opportunity to really go into some of those deeper challenges and really being able to connect with you and really act as a thought partner. Sometimes people have already events that are kind of happening at their site or at their school. So if maybe there's an event like a back to school night event in the start of the year, a fall festival, a winter, something that you would like to invite us, we're always happy to come your way. So that's one of the ways we can collaborate together this year.
Okay, just to again expand upon opportunities to collaborate, the focus is to network with you all and to build relationships. So like Arminia mentioned, existing meetings and events are a great way to invite the RTAC to just observe the positives that are going on in your school and your district, look at some bright spots, and they're also an opportunity to for us to act as a thought partner if there's something in particular that your challenge is challenging you or that you're facing that you need some support with.
Okay. We've established a monthly newsletter to help showcase all of the great work that's happening in your schools and in your areas. And so we invite you to please participate, sign up for our newsletter, send us stories. If anything great is going on out there, we'd love to hear about it and share it and celebrate it, most importantly. And we have found that our newsletter is a great way to celebrate our achievements, our successes. And so please, we invite you. We will often have a call out for stories, or we would ask your permission to share a story on your behalf of something great that's happening. We don't have to be experts in all components of the community school to be models in certain components. And so we want to showcase, when I think about showcasing our successes, I think of the story we want to tell as grantees, the story we want to tell our communities, first and foremost, our students and our parents, but the story we also want to tell the nation, because California is, we did, I believe, more than $1 billion investment in community schools, and we want to showcase to the nation how this is truly going to transform our work. And so we invite you to be part of our newsletters. Don't be shy in sharing your photos, your candid photos and stories with you. And so that's another opportunity. Here you'll find links to sign up for the newsletter, to be a recipient. And then we've housed on our website the previous newsletters that we've had. It's through is a Constant Contact is our provider of our newsletter. So we look forward to kicking off this newsletter for this new year and start showcasing some of your great work. Jennifer?
All right, great. So I shared the presentation with everyone. The link is in the chat. Another way to collaborate with each other is through the Bright Spot. And I'm 100% sure everybody has something to showcase. So we have best practices showcasing. So if you have something that you want to showcase to everyone, I'm posting the chat Bright Spot form. Please fill it out. If you have a wellness center you want to showcase, if you want to showcase the gardens that you have, anything that you feel that you're doing well in, please share it with us. Because we also have heard from our grantees that they want to see examples of bright spots and how community school works. So if you're one of those person that is interested to see schools that are doing well, I have also posted the interest form there. You can go ahead and fill that out. And then we're also doing the community school coordinated monthly networking sessions. The last one, the first one was done yesterday for this year, and it went really well. The flyers posted there, and all the coordinators in the Monterey County joined us, and they were able to share information, share knowledge, and network with each other, resolve problems. And they also were able to receive creative ways to solicit stockholder feedback, where they learn about quantitative and qualitative research. And that's all new for a lot of our coordinators. So that's a way to do it. If you're interested to have something like that at your county level, please reach out to us. We'll help you start it.
And it gives me great pleasure. This is the time to introduce our partners for this year. So this is our partner, Manuel Colon. We'll be having the pleasure of having him again this year, supporting us in our work through the community school model. And he's here to say some words to you.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm super excited to continue working with this amazing team from the Central Coast. Just super excited to be a part of the great work that's being done. As you know, we will be offering 4 workshops throughout the year, and we're super excited. It really is about your implementation. And as Dr. Vela said, this is going to be difficult work in terms of transformation. But it's exciting work. And so we will be offering the 4 workshops. We're going to go in depth in terms of the framework. What does it mean? How does this apply? How do we implement it? Really taking the journey with you. We know that this is going to take time. And I want to just keep reiterating, this is going to take time. It doesn't happen overnight. But every time we're engaging, every time we're learning, we're going to keep adding to that learning. And so, again, our hope is that throughout the year, and as we get into the workshops, you will be learning more, not only about the framework and what's intended, but also about the work that you're doing and the change and the positive impact that you're having at your local schools. And so that's really our goal, is to help you, guide you, work with you in that journey, in supporting students across the region. Our hope is that you come to our workshops with a team. You're going to have meaningful conversations, and many times it's nice to be able to work with the team and understanding, and what does this mean, and taking those actions back to your district or your sites. And so it's important to be able to do that. So I encourage you to come as teams. I encourage you to really be thoughtful and intentional about who attends, because again, this is not to be done in silos or by yourself. It's really intended to be done as a team. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all in person and really walking the journey with you. So thank you for having me, and looking forward to a great year.
Thank you, Manuel. And we also have another slide with the mission statement of Inflection. And if you'd like to get to know a little bit more about Manuel Colon or Inflection, there are a few links in the slide that you'll be able to access later when we show the presentation with everyone. Is Miss Audrey Lee available? Is she here with us?
Here.
Oh, wonderful. So I just wanted to take a minute to introduce Miss Audrey Lee. Her Scholar System program, which founder is Dr. Rios, will be providing additional support to grantees this year. And she's here to say a few words about the Scholar System.
Hi, everyone. My team and I are so excited to be working with you. I'm personally excited because I live in the Bay Area, and this is the first time I don't have to fly 500, 600 miles to work with someone. So I'm excited about that. I'm kind of laughing at your chat. My husband went to UCLA. My nephew went to UCSC. My son's off to Irvine in a couple weeks, and I went to Cal. So we have a lot of, I like the UC love over there. I'm the director of professional learning for Scholar System. And for those of you who don't know Dr. Rios or his story, which is a compelling, gigantic story that I can't tell in a minute, but I will try. He came here from Mexico with his mother and his brother, and didn't speak any English, got to school, loved it, and then had some really bad experiences and checked out in 3rd grade, dropped out in 8th grade. And then became involved in gangs, saw his best friend get killed in front of him. There's so much to this story, but he eventually did go back to school to Berkeley High and credits. And now, as you can see, he's a doctor with a PhD from Cal. He is a professor at UC Santa Barbara. And he credits all of this to one teacher, one adult who saved his life because she believed in him. And that's really the mission of Scholar System, and sort of that's kind of what we build everything on, is that any one of us, any adult who works with any youth, can be that one adult that turns a student's life around. And we also have this phrase where we believe in prosperity. We don't want our kids are young adults. We don't want them just to get by. We don't want them just to get through. We want them to prosper. And part of that, we believe, is also having all of you adults who work with students feeling joy in your work and prospering yourselves, which is at this time kind of hard to do. My husband teaches kindergarten, and the worst thing ever was watching him teach kindergarten from the dining room table during COVID. And I think since COVID, we've kind of recouped some losses, but we lost a little of the joy that we had in our jobs. And we aim to bring that back and talk about how we can channel that and kind of repurpose ourselves so that we can best support whoever it is that we're serving. So we really aim at Scholar System. We have 3 things we focus on in all of our workshops, and that is inspiration, connection, and application. So in each session you have with us, we have a great team lined up for you. I looked at the list of who's coming. I was like, wow, they're getting good people for this. But you will hear our stories. You will connect with us. We will connect with each other, but we also believe that it's nice to be inspired. It's nice to, to hear someone's story and kind of refocus. But if we don't give you any practical tools to turn around and use tomorrow, then all you are left with is a nice story. And so we really aim to make sure every session you leave feeling good, but also feeling like you've got something to do tomorrow for your next step. So we're very excited to work with you. And I don't think I see you for a couple months, but I will be back and see all of you then.
Thank you so much, Audrey.
You're welcome.
So again, Audrey mentioned that we will be receiving additional support from Scholar System, and in particular, in addition to 4 community of practice sessions that they'll be leading with all grantees, which will be virtual. They will be supporting CCSPP Alternative Ed grantees. So we have several Alternative Ed grantees in our region, and these sessions are open to all Alternative Ed grantees in our region. There will be 2 in person, a welcome and a closing in person, and then 4 virtual sessions. So we're excited to get those off the ground and support further our Alternative Ed grantees.
All right, it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Kendra. She's from HeartWise, and she's our new partner that will help us facilitate our COE community of practice. So I'll let Dr. Kendra introduce herself.
Thank you so much. I also want to give a shout out to my colleague, Christina Lash, who's right here. Also, Christina, you can give a little wave. We're HeartWise Learning. So I am a community schools geek through and through. I have been working in and around community schools for 15 plus years. I have been working especially with Oakland Unified School District since they declared themselves the first district-wide community schools initiative in the country way back in 2012. I had the privilege of being the research practice partner with the amazing team there and getting to accompany the work for, about 10 years. You can, if you want to also geek out, you feel free to click any of those hyperlinks. I always love to share the love. One of the things that is really, I think, unique about California is we are at the forefront of learning about district-led community school development. Community schools are not a new idea. They have been around for decades and decades, from the early kind of social workers and innovators working out of schools to community organizers. And one of the things that has often been kind of a challenge in the field is that community schools can often be thought of as these school level things, right? That special project that we have over at these schools, or that program someone said earlier. I think it was Dr. Vela. They're not a program. But really, so thinking about community schools as a systems change for districts at scale is really quite a new thing in the field. And so we in California, we have made a $4.3 billion investment in this strategy. There's a lot at stake, and it's coming on the, on the back of COVID. It's coming alongside huge other investments in the whole child, in ELLP programs, MTSS, multi-payer fee schedule. I mean, so many other investments that are really shifting the role that schools play in supporting young people, their families, and their communities. So I am really looking forward to, or I'm currently working with a number of school districts across California who are also CCSBP grantees, working already with Santa Cruz County Office of Education. And I'm really excited to get to work with the COEs along the Central Coast and to see how your work has been going, this is another learning edge, not just district-led community school development, but then how do COEs support and interface with this system change? So I'm excited to do a lot of learning together, as well as, again, like I think Audrey said, our hope is that after every time that we spend together, that everyone leaves with some very concrete tools, next steps that really respond to the many hats that you're wearing and how you're holding them. So thanks for welcoming me today, and we look forward to learning more together.
Okay, so moving on, just kind of reminding you and sharing that we do have the event calendar. The link is provided there. And here you will find all the trainings and events that will be happening throughout the school year. And just to kind of emphasize that for next month, we have the first 2 in-person events that are very important and mandatory. We have the North one for San Benito, Monterey, Santa Cruz at the Steinbeck Center on September 10. And then on September 24, we have the one for San Luis Obispo, Santa Barbara, Ventura, or Solvang, California. So we will see you all there at those 2 different locations, depending on where you're coming from. Please take time to look into these links here. Dr. Bella talked a little bit also about the newsletter and its importance. So you have that link there. You also have access to in our Google Drive, where you'll be seeing the calendar and the events. So if you have any questions about events and things that are happening within RTAC, please access those links. Thank you.
A little bit more in detail of the upcoming events. So again, as Annabelle just mentioned, we do have our partner Inflection, who will be facilitating our in-person workshops. We're really excited. We hope that you bring your team, your coordinators, your principal, vice principal, social workers, counselors, liaisons, anyone that you can think of that's going to be kind of supporting the community school work. And we will be emailing these flyers in case maybe you have not seen them before. We're also going to be hosting our virtual community of practice. Again, that will be facilitated by Dr. Rios and Scholarly System and his team. So we will also be having that. That virtual community of practice is for everyone. So again, the same people that you bring to the in-person sessions, we want you to invite to the virtual sessions. Additionally, like Kendra mentioned, we will be having the community COE communities of practice. So that's specific to COE education teams. So for all my coordinators and everyone else, there will be the ones for everyone will be the community of practice with Scholarly Systems. Last but not least, we want to just kind of hear from you as to how we can improve or support us in RTAC. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to be sending out a LEA survey that we're hoping that you guys can complete as a team. We just want to see what kind of support supports we provided that were really helpful, and then also what kind of supports we need to incorporate going forward. So we definitely, when the survey goes out together, if you're a district coordinator, then definitely collaborate with your site coordinators, and site coordinators collaborate with your district as well, so that it kind of gives us an idea of, again, some of the professional development opportunities and other fun things that we can bring throughout the year. So like we mentioned, we're hoping to launch this in the next couple of weeks.
All right, thank you, Armenia. So we have now some STAC updates. As many of you that have been awarded Cohort 3 implementation, I know you're still waiting for your GAN, your Grant Award Notification Letter. And per CDE, these should be mailed out within the next couple of weeks to your superintendent or lead administrator of the grant. So keep an eye out for that. Another item STAC would like us to share with grantees is that they will be having a welcome webinar for those Cohort 3 implementation grantees. That will be occurring on Tuesday, September 24th at 10 a.m. There's a short description of what will be shared at that welcome webinar, and then there's also a link to register. CDE will also be hosting a budget webinar. So that will be open to anyone that, any level of grantee, any cohort. As some of you may know, there have been some new expenditure reports shared, and it's a little different than previous expenditure reports. So CD is aware of some, a little confusion or concerns with the new format, and they will be providing some support to everyone via a webinar. That is scheduled to occur on Tuesday, October 15th at 1 o'clock, and there's a link to register in the presentation. And then one last item is that STAC also does host monthly monthly collective learning space meetings. And the first one is scheduled to occur September 3rd at 3 o'clock. Those are optional but highly recommended, and they are virtual. So please check out the link to register for all the dates. And then if you also click on the link provided in the presentation, you will see the topics by month. So if there's a month that you really want to make sure you attend, you can reference that document. And then last but not least, there's a link to join the STAC listserv. So if you don't want to miss any announcements made by the STAC, go ahead and please join their listserv.
Okay, so we are at the last slide, and I want to begin by thanking all of you for taking the time to be with us today. Hopefully you took away something new. You got to meet someone new. Again, our goal was just to bring us together, get us to connect, get us to understand a little bit more of our work. So we really appreciate your time this afternoon. We have to base our work, and we are committed to basing our work based on your feedback. And so I welcome and I appreciate every single one of you for completing our feedback survey. You can go through the QR code if you wish, or you could go through the link. This feedback is so important to us because it helps us calibrate the work that we offer and the support that we offer. And so please participate in that. Every single session that we put forward is going to have a feedback, a component. And so we invite you to be part of that. As you saw today, there are numerous opportunities for learning and collaborating. And that is the theme of this year, learn and collaborate. That is our vision. That's our goal. As you heard Dr. Gus say at the beginning, that's what it takes for us to go forward with this work. So again, I want to thank our partners for being here, Inflection, Scholarly System, and Heartwise for being here and joining us and sharing this work with us. I want to thank our COE colleagues. Thank you, county offices, for being here. The district level staff, thank you for your support. And more importantly, our heroes, the people that work in our schools every single day and show up to our schools to support families. Thank you for your work and your dedication. So with that, unless there are any other questions or any other announcements from our team. So RTAC team, anything else? Awesome. So I want to thank Janue Saru, Dr. Jennifer Zahardi, Ana Garcia, and Herminia Cervantes. And I'm Ernesto. We are here to support you or a text away. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. Have a wonderful day.